Here's an important legal update for our case on the Corporate Transparency Act that we are going to be filing in the next week or two here. This last weekend, the Supreme Court ruled in a case called Labrador versus Poe that it is, in a 6-3 ruling, that it is improper for a lower court to issue a general public relief on an injunction prior to a judgment. Now, this is really important. First of all, this is massive for people in the litigative space that fight against government overreach, or even people that are fighting against good laws. This is a two-edged sword. But basically, what it means is that if you apply for an injunction, like we're going to be doing with our case in the Corporate Transparency Act, your injunction cannot apply to the general public. It can only apply to parties that are affected by the particular case. Now, rulings can still affect the general public if that's what the judge rules, but preliminary injunctions, things that happen before the case is decided, cannot. This is really important, guys. I'll give you an example. In our case, this means that when we go file, the very first thing we were going to do is apply for a preliminary injunction, because several of our plaintiffs are either not starting a business, they're not starting an LLC because of the Corporate Transparency Act, or its effects are pending on their recently formed business. So we were going to apply for an injunction that said, hey, we want everyone to be protected from this law before it takes effect, because this is one of those things where once the genie's out of the bottle, you can't get it put back in. Once the government has all this information about these businesses, it doesn't matter whether the law gets overturned. All that information is still in their possession. So we believe we have good prospects of getting that injunction, but with this ruling, this means that we could not get a public injunction. This means that the judge could only apply it to members of our case. So this is critical, guys. If you're a small business owner, if you're important in a small business and you want to protect your privacy, you need to get your company in our case. We have a couple of different paths to help get your company protected. One of those is right on our website. If you go to homesteadliberation.org and you click on the tab up at the top that says join, it walks you through the paths on how your business can get protected. This is not going to necessarily require you to spend tens of thousands of dollars. That's why we're doing it this way. There are some very reasonable ways to help get your business covered. Reach out to us if you have any questions. My contact information is on the website. You can also contact me on Twitter at Cato Rockwell, or directly through our Twitter profile at Homestead League. And I'm happy to answer any questions you have, but let's get your business protected.